This video is just part 1 and part 2 together, so you guys can watching a one full video. I hope you guys like it, and here's both of the videos. What if Tanjiro got turned into a demon? So I created 2 different timelines. One where Tanjiro turns evil, and another where he stays good and travels with Nezuko. But I decided to go with evil Tanjiro, because let's be honest, it's darker, more intense, and way more entertaining. Let me know in the comments if you want me to drop the good Tanjiro version too. So in this timeline, we have to make sure that Nezuko leaves the house, and Tanjiro is still in the house. So let's just say that Tanjiro broke his leg or broke his arm while doing some activities, and so Nezuko has to go sell the coal, since she's one of the oldest. Nezuko doesn't return home, and Muzan arrives, injecting his blood into the Kamado family to see if any of them can survive and become demons. At first, he thinks none of them made it, but then Tanjiro starts turning into a demon. He senses that faint heartbeat, and Tanjiro begins rampaging, becoming a demon. After Tanjiro finally becomes a demon, Muzan asks him, "Where is the blue spider lily?" Tanjiro replies, "I don't know, Lord Muzan." Muzan then searches through all of Tanjiro's memories and catches a glimpse of the blue spider lily, something his mother once showed him. Muzan gets furious, realizing he was so close to finding it, but now he can't reach it because the flower only blooms in sunlight and only for 3 days a year. Now, while he's looking through Tanjiro's memories, he sees the Hinokami dance that his dad was doing and Tanjiro trying to learn it. He recognizes it as sun breathing, and Muzan would never forget that. After recognizing the Hinokami dance, Muzan realizes this is the family Yoriichi passed down his techniques to. He believes Tanjiro might be able to conquer the sun because of sun breathing. So he takes Tanjiro back to the Infinity Castle, begins training him, injects him with more blood, and feeds him more humans. But there's a problem. Tanjiro is naturally kind. He refuses to eat humans at first. Just like Akaza refuses to eat women due to his lingering human morals, Tanjiro still clings to pieces of his humanity. But Muzan doesn't care. He forces Tanjiro to consume humans and begins erasing most of his memories, because Tanjiro, at his core, is a kind soul. But Muzan is determined to turn him into a killer. Nezuko returns home to find her whole family massacred. Just then, Giyu appears and helps her escape the scene. Despite the tragedy and seeing no sign of Tanjiro anywhere, Nezuko still holds on to hope that he's alive somewhere out there. After burying her parents, Nezuko begins training with Urokodaki. After learning water breathing, Nezuko struggles when facing the same demons Tanjiro fought in the original timeline. Without a demon by her side, she misses some of the clutch moments that Tanjiro pulled off in Season 1. As a result, she has a harder time surviving. She might even be a bit weaker, not because she's a girl, but because she's fighting alone and carrying all the weight herself. Now Nezuko meets Inosuke and Zenitsu. Zenitsu keeps chasing after her because he likes her, and Inosuke keeps getting her name wrong, which annoys her even more. But eventually, she and Inosuke team up to defeat the drum demon. Now let's get into the fight with Rui. Inosuke and Nezuko develop the same kind of chemistry that Tanjiro and Inosuke had in the original timeline, and together, they defeat all the demons leading up to Rui. But when Nezuko faces Rui, she struggles badly, pushed to the brink of death until he shows up. My emo boy Giyu shows up and nonchalantly slices Rui's head off like it was nothing, then saves Nezuko without breaking a sweat. And this time, Giyu and Shinobu don't get into that big fight, because there's no good demon now. We cut back to Tanjiro. Now we see Tanjiro as Upper Moon 6. He easily defeats Gyutaro and Daki. He's incredibly strong, able to regenerate in the blink of an eye. Now his blood demon art is really hard to figure out, because in the original timeline, when he briefly became a demon, we never actually saw it. So in this timeline, let's say it's similar to Nezuko's, but instead of pink flames, his are dark red. As Tanjiro continues to level up, he starts to regain some of his breathing techniques. So let's say Muzan gives him a sword, and now he can mix his demon powers with sun breathing. The result is even more powerful. Just like how Kokushibo uses moon breathing with his blood demon art, creating crescent-shaped slashes everywhere, Tanjiro's version creates actual flames swirling around his blade every time he uses a form. Now here's a secret a lot of people don't know, so if you don't want spoilers, skip ahead. The creator of Demon Slayer confirmed that the fire, water, and other elements you see with breathing techniques are just visual effects. They don't actually exist in the world of the story. Now we're at the end of Season 1. In the original timeline, Tanjiro met all the Hashira, but this time, it's Nezuko. She makes a much stronger impression by actually talking with them. Nezuko becomes a Tsuguko of the love Hashira Mitsuri. Mitsuri sees herself in Nezuko and takes her under her wing. Other Demon Slayer creators might give Nezuko Nezuko sun breathing, but that's not how it works. Nezuko never did the dance. She doesn't know it. She only saw it once, so she wouldn't be able to use sun breathing. Now, instead of water breathing, I'd give Nezuko love breathing. First of all, it's just a really cool style to give her. And second, even though she can't use sun breathing, she could still use flame breathing, and love breathing is just a different form of that. Now let's go into the Mugen train arc. In this version, Nezuko isn't part of it. She's off training with Mitsuri, so Rengoku is alone and ends up dying to Akaza, just like in the original timeline. Now, when Tanjiro joins the Upper Moon ranks, all the other Upper Moons are there to witness it. During the meeting, Gyoko, Upper Moon 5, claims he knows where the Swordsmith village is. So Muzan sends Gyoko, Upper Moon 5, and says, "Let's test your abilities now against real demon slayers." Then he turns to Tanjiro and commands him to go as well. Now they all show up at the Swordsmith village, but the only ones there are Mitsuri, Muichiro, Nezuko, and Genya. Nezuko doesn't have the demon slayer mark since she doesn't use sun breathing. Nezuko has only been training in love breathing for a couple of months now. Tanjiro is the first to show up because Upper Moon 5, Gyoko, sneaks in through his vases. In the original timeline, Mitsuri was kind of far from the village during the attack, but in this version, let's say she stayed an extra night. So when the battle begins, she's still there and ends up getting attacked by Upper Moon 6. Tanjiro rushes in at incredible speed using sun breathing. Muichiro reacts quickly and blocks the attack. Nezuko and Mitsuri go straight for his head, but Tanjiro dashes back and counters with a burst of flame. Mitsuri shouts, "Oh my god, Upper Moon 6?" Nezuko stands there in shock, staring at Tanjiro. She can't believe what she's seeing. Her own brother, now a demon. And not just any demon, an Upper Moon. Nezuko starts screaming at her brother, "Tanjiro, is that really you?" But Tanjiro says nothing, his memories mostly erased by Muzan. Without hesitation, he charges at Nezuko. Muichiro quickly steps in to block the attack, and the two begin to clash in a fierce battle. Tanjiro isn't even at full strength, but he's using sun breathing, catching both Muichiro and Mitsuri off guard. They're shocked that a demon can even use breathing techniques, let alone the most powerful one in the entire show. Both Hashira are struggling to keep up with Tanjiro. His rapid regeneration, overwhelming speed, and deadly breathing techniques. Nezuko stands frozen in shock on the battlefield, unable to believe what her brother has become. Nezuko can't even move. She's frozen in shock. Then Genya rushes in, throws her to the side, and says, "If you're not going to help, then get out of the way." Since Tanjiro isn't at full power yet, he's actually struggling against Muichiro and Mitsuri. Then Upper Moon 5 shows up. He starts helping Tanjiro in the fight. The entire Swordsmith village erupts into chaos as explosions go off everywhere. Two Upper Moon demons battle the two Hashira, and Genya is badly injured. Genya only surviving because he's eating demons. They tell Genya they can't win this fight, and urge him to grab Nezuko and warn the other Hashira that the Swordsmith village has been attacked. Genya quickly grabs Nezuko, does a quick dash, and starts running back. They finally arrive at the Demon Slayer headquarters in the morning, where Genya collapses from exhaustion. Nezuko immediately tells all the Hashira what happened at the Swordsmith village. All the Hashira rush to the village in panic. When they arrive, they see the entire village blown to pieces, and both Hashira who were defending it are now dead. After that, Nezuko vows that the next time she sees Tanjiro, she will kill him for the greater good. And she begins a really intense training arc. The Hashira probably wouldn't train with her, since no one has awakened the Demon Slayer mark, so they wouldn't even think about training to get it if they don't know it exists. Nezuko trains even harder now, knowing that Mitsuri Kanroji is dead after the Swordsmith village attack. She pushes herself to the limit, with Shinobu backing her up. Nezuko talks to Shinobu about Tanjiro, knowing deep down that if he doesn't come back to his senses, she'll have to be the one to kill him. Now we cut back to Tanjiro, who arrives before Muzan and says, "We killed all the demon slayers at the Swordsmith village, and we destroyed everything, Lord Muzan." Muzan says, "Good," but he already knows what Tanjiro is thinking. He wants to face more Hashira and get stronger for Muzan. Muzan nods and replies, "Very well. Then we'll start sending you after the remaining Hashira." Now we time skip 6 months later. Nezuko is much stronger now, almost at Hashira level. There have been a lot more demon attacks lately, and she keeps hearing rumors about a red demon with a red sword going around, killing people and eating them. Deep down, she knows it's her brother. The Demon Slayer Corps finally gets a lead on where another Upper Moon is. This time, they don't repeat the mistake they made with Rengoku fighting Akaza alone. They've learned from the past, so instead of sending just one Hashira, they send multiple. Leading the mission are Shinobu and Sanemi. Their target? The Upper Six demon, Tanjiro. They know his location. Nezuko and Kanao also join the mission, determined to put an end to his rampage. Tanjiro, using his sun breathing, slashes through the store incredibly fast, moving like a blazing fire. Sanemi launches a counterattack, and the two begin clashing fiercely. Meanwhile, Shinobu darts in and out with her poison, looking for an opening. Nezuko, now incredibly fast and nearly Hashira level, keeps up with the the fight. She keeps trying to talk Tanjiro back to his senses, but nothing is getting through. Backed into a corner, with the sun rising fast, Tanjiro starts to panic. He tries to get away from the sunlight, but Sanemi and Shinobu block his escape. Nezuko runs toward him, screaming, pleading, "Tanjiro, please come back! You're still in there. I know you are." The sunlight pours over him. They all watch, expecting him to burn alive. His skin starts to smoke. His body shakes. He drops to one knee, groaning in agony. But then it stops. The burning stops. Everyone stares in shock as Tanjiro slowly rises, still in demon form, but completely unaffected by the sun dot. In that silver moment, as Tanjiro fights against the burning sunlight, memories flood back. He remembers Nezuko, his sister, the bond they share. Suddenly, Nezuko runs to him and wraps her arms around him tightly. Her warmth breaks through the darkness inside him. That embrace snaps Tanjiro out of Muzan's control. Tanjiro looks around, confused, and says, "What's happening? Nezuko, are you alright? What's been going on all this time? Mom and Dad, what happened?" Nezuko explains, "There was a demon attack at our house." Tanjiro feels strange, overwhelmed. Why do I feel so powerful? Suddenly, memories flood back. His time as a demon, the battles he fought, the people he killed. Tanjiro kneels down, tears streaming, and whispers, "How am I going to atone for all of this?" Nezuko kneels beside him and says, "It's going to be okay, brother." They bring Tanjiro back to the group, but the Hashira are not happy to see a demon. The Hashira respect the master's word and follow his orders, but none of them like Tanjiro. Even though he's a demon who can withstand sunlight, their trust in him is fragile at best. Now Nezuko finally has her brother back, and they start training together. Tanjiro uses his sun breathing for good this time, aiming to kill every single demon. But Muzan realizes he's lost control over Tanjiro when he survived the sunlight. He knows Tanjiro broke free. Now, Tanjiro can even evade the sun's deadly rays. Muzan, furious and worried, tells the upper moons, "The thing I want is to capture Tanjiro." Now we get to the part where Kagaya Ubuyashiki sacrifices himself to give the demon slayers a fighting chance against Muzan. His selfless act inspires the entire demon slayer corps to unite and push forward, using every ounce of their strength and skill to take down Muzan once and for all. And now they all fall, including Tanjiro. Even though Tanjiro has become one of the strongest demons, the fight is still brutal. This time, Upper Moons 5 and 4 are still alive, making the battle even tougher. On the Hashira side, Mitsuri and Muichiro are already dead, and Rengoku is gone too. But this time, Tengen is still alive to fight alongside the remaining Hashira. Now Tanjiro and Nezuko get dropped into the battle, immediately facing off against Akaza. Let's go over which Hashira are fighting which Upper Moon in this intense showdown. Upper Moon 1, Kokushibo, will be fighting Gyome Himejima, Obanai Iguro, and Genya. Upper Moon 2 will be fighting Shinobu Kocho, Inosuke Hashibira, and Kanao Tsuyuri. Now Upper Moon 5 and Upper Moon 4 will be fighting Giyu Tomioka and Tengen Uzui. These two have the hardest challenge because they're each facing one Upper Moon demons by themselves. Their main goal is to hold out until more demon slayers arrive, and fortunately, they have more strength and strategy on their side. But remember, they also have the support of the underling demon slayers to help them hold their ground. And then we have all the side battles, including Zenitsu versus Kaigaku, the new Upper Moon 6. Since Mitsuri is dead and Obanai is fighting Upper Moon 1, that leaves only Yushiro to face the battle alone and try to take control of the Infinity Castle. I think she would succeed, but it would be much harder this time, because instead of having the Hashira's support, he only has the underlings of the Demon Slayer Corps. Tanjiro and Nezuko make quick work of Akaza, then rush to help Giyu and Tengen, who are fighting Upper Moon 4 and Upper Moon 5. Meanwhile, Upper Moon 1, Kokushibo, is battling Jome, Genya, and Obanai, who are fighting even harder than in the original timeline, since they don't have Muichiro's support. And somehow, all of them manage to defeat the Upper Moons. As for Upper Moon 2, the same fate unfolds as in the original timeline. Shinobu dies, and Doma succumbs to her poison. Now, the Hashira have all awakened the Demon Slayer mark, since Tanjiro has it, and is fighting all the Upper Moons using sun breathing. The rest of the Hashira have also gained the mark. They're all using it to fight against Muzan in the final Sunrise Countdown arc in this timeline. The only ones who die in the Infinity Castle are Shinobu and Genya. Defeating Muzan is much easier because Tanjiro is now a demon. He can regenerate limbs and heal quickly. This allows them to fight longer and safely reach the sunrise, where Muzan ultimately dies. In this timeline, Tanjiro never fully becomes a demon because he resists Muzan's control. Instead, they keep him stabilized with the human serum from Tamayo, and eventually he turns back into a human. Now, after Muzan dies, Obanai dies during the final battle, and those who survive still die before 25 because of the Demon Slayer mark. So basically, the story ends much like the original, only this time, Tanjiro was a demon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and part 2 of the timeline. Please make sure to like and subscribe. subscribe. I swear, I spent 3 hours making this script. Just please like, subscribe.